I wouldn't necessarily have called myself gritty, but the definition of grit or gritty in the Oxford Dictionary is courage and resolve, strength of character. And I guess when I look at it like that, I've got bravery or courage in spades. I left home at a very young age, a sassy teen who didn't like having her parents split and then remarry other people a week apart, no less. My whole life changed at that point. I went and I lived with an amazing family who took me in. But I was brought up well and I was not able to live there for free. I had to make sure that I paid them some money and paid my way. So after school each day, I went and worked at Coles. And then I went babysitting until midnight. And I worked like that for 3 years while finishing high school. It's not until I look back now that I realise that this was me building grit. Sometimes it takes me a while. Have you ever had those things where you look back in hindsight and you think, oh, that's why that situation happened. It was for me. What I realise now is that money gives you choice. And this experience shaped me to ensure that now I help women to have financial security. I didn't even realise this until a few years back when someone heard my story and said, Emma, no wonder you do what you do. I mean, sometimes things are right in front of you, and we just don't see them. Hey, I'm human after all. In order to build resilience, stick at business for longer, even though the harder times you need to have a certain level of grit. Sometimes being stubborn in business is a great thing because it helps us stick to things. Today, I thought we would focus this episode on what it means to be gritty, a gritty human, and why a lot of us don't seem to be wired that way these days. I studied a great book on this topic while writing my own book. And if you want to do some more reading on this, I would highly recommend Angela Duckworth's book, aptly named Grit. We'll pop it in the show notes for you. Being a gritty human in business means possessing the perseverance and passion to achieve long-term goals, even in the face of challenges and setbacks. Gritty individuals are resilient. They maintain their focus and their commitment despite obstacles, and they don't give up easily. They combine hard work, determination, and a strong sense of purpose, which helps them push through tough times and continue striving towards success, whatever success looks like for that person. In business, this grit often manifests as the willingness to take risks, learn from failures, and continuously adapt. Hate the word pivot, but you all know what I mean. It means staying true to your vision whilst also being flexible enough to pivot when necessary. I'm sorry, there's not a better word than pivot. Anyway, a gritty entrepreneur or professional is someone who doesn't let those temporary failures define them, but instead uses those experiences as learning opportunities to grow and improve. And overall, grit in business is about having the mental toughness to keep going when others might quit, staying motivated by the bigger picture and consistently putting in the effort needed to achieve your goals, whatever they might be. I realise it's not all rainbows and unicorns, right? Here's why I think grit can be hard to achieve. Grit demands the ability to withstand emotional ups and downs. Setbacks, failures, rejections, Lord knows I've had that many rejections, are inevitable in business. And staying motivated despite these challenges requires significant emotional strength. In a world that often values quick wins and instant gratification, I have to say I'm a marketer's dream. I can stroll through Instagram and buy something and all of a sudden I bought 3 things. Instant gratification. In a world that often values quick wins and instant gratification, maintaining a long-term perspective can be difficult. Maintaining a month perspective can be difficult. Am I right? Especially in COVID, but we won't mention that. Gritty individuals must resist the temptation to abandon their goals when immediate results aren't apparent, which requires a really strong sense of purpose and discipline. Delaying gratification is so important for business owners because if you focus too much on seeing the rewards now, then you'll ultimately be disappointed and give up before you reach what could be somewhere amazing. Take podcasting, for example. I'll use me as an example. Podcasting is not something that you do for instant reward or huge growth. It's small actions over a long period of time, compounded, that make a bigger impact. When I started working with Bambi do my podcast, and they do an amazing job, I met with Brianna, the head honcho at Bambi, and we talked about what I wanted my podcast to look like. And for years, I had done interviews with people and different bits and pieces, but I knew in my heart I wanted to do more video so that I could eyeball you. Brianna challenged me to think about it a bit more strategically and with a long-term frame lens to see the benefit of small actions over a long period of time. Sometimes we have to trust the professionals around us, and that's what I did, and I have not looked back. P.S. Not an advert for Bambi, just really love them. I think self-doubt and external criticism can erode confidence and motivation. Maintaining grit means continually pushing through those doubts, which is easier said than done, I know, and the fear of failure can be a significant barrier. I will also say the fear of rejection can also be a significant barrier. Anyone who's worked with me will know that I love picking up the phone, and I think building relationships is about getting belly to belly, face to face with people. Sometimes that can be difficult. I get it. Grit isn't just about working hard in short bursts. It's about consistently putting in the effort over time, that compounding. That persistence can be exhausting, especially when progress seems slow or uncertain. I will say, when I hear feedback about the podcast, which is very rare, sometimes I just feel like I'm talking to no one. So if you're listening to this, do me a favour. Somehow find me on Instagram, leave a comment on YouTube, leave a comment in our DMs that you've actually watched this. I would love to hear, because podcasting feels a bit lonely sometimes. While passion is a key component to grit, it needs to be balanced with practical considerations. It's really challenging to stay passionate when practical concerns like finance, time, and resources come into play. But we've got to make an effort. Grit requires the ability to view failures as learning opportunities rather than definitive setbacks. There will always be setbacks, but let's view them differently. And this mindset shift is difficult because failures can feel deeply personal and really discouraging, especially when it's hard. Yeah, and business can be hard. Make no mistake. Constantly pushing oneself without adequate rest and self-care can lead to burnout. Burnout's trending at the moment. There's a lot of people talking about burnout. Maintaining grit requires not only persistence, but also the wisdom to manage your energy and your well-being efficiently. Achieving grit is hard because it involves an ongoing commitment to 1, personal growth, 2, mental toughness, and a deep-rooted belief in your goals, even when the journey is long and challenging. Business is a marathon, not a sprint. So it's long and challenging. And it's a rare quality because it demands a combination of emotional intelligence, or EQ, strategic thinking, and just that relentless perseverance. Oh my goodness. I have a question for you. How can you be more gritty? I believe that you can actually develop grit over time, especially in business. It's about going back to what truly matters to you from a long-term perspective. Having a clear sense of purpose gives you the motivation to persevere when the going gets tough. Not only this, but revisiting all your goals as a reminder to yourself. For me, you know I love setting goals. You've heard me talk about it time and again. But I also know that focusing only on the end goal makes it feel really hard. So I chunk it down into smaller tasks. For instance, when we were selling tickets for Day with the Queen, I had wanted to fill 100 seats. I had 100 post-it notes, and every time I sold one, I put someone's name in it. I just broke that task down and got on with it. This gives me, and it certainly gave me, a sense of achievement when I got those smaller tasks done. I'm not very good at this yet, but taking time to celebrate the small wins, the progress, no matter how small, is so important as it builds momentum and keeps you, my friend, moving forward. I feel like business is all about stepping out of your comfort zone. There is so much to do And in the beginning, you have to wrap your head around it all. When something is new, it can seem so daunting. But every single challenge you overcome builds resilience. It's a win-win. When things don't go as planned, you have to take the time to reflect about what went wrong or what you could do to improve, looking at failure as an opportunity to grow rather than some kind of setback or giving up. Which really leads me to one of my favorite topics, growth mindset. Adopting the belief that your abilities and intelligence can grow with effort. A growth mindset helps you stay persistent because you see challenges and opportunities to learn. And while you're doing this, being kind to yourself during tough times is oh so important. Understand that setbacks are a natural part of the journey and that every effort contributes to your growth. Way back when I was a teenager, I didn't understand that. Now I get it. Another question for you. What's one specific challenge or setback that you faced recently that, if you viewed it through the lens of grit, could be seen as an opportunity for growth rather than just an obstacle? I'm going to say that again. I want you to think about it. What's one specific challenge or setback you faced recently that, if viewed through the lens of grit, could be seen as an opportunity for growth rather than and just an obstacle? Have a think about that while you're walking your dog or while you're out in the sunshine. And I bang on about this a lot, but surrounding yourself with the right people to encourage you when those days are tough and long, celebrate the wins with you. There is nothing like a supportive network. So make sure you surround yourself with people who encourage you. The world is full of critics. We don't need any more of those. Right now, I want to do a shout out to all the thriving women in my life, both past and present. Thriving Women as a program has been going for 7 years, and we are still in contact with most of the people from those programs. Amazing. Thank you for being my squad, and thank you to those who I meet with and connect with. You know who you are. Connect with people who support your goals and can provide motivation and guidance. A strong support network can help you stay on track during difficult times. And sharing your journey with some trusted advisors is so important. It gives you a chance to talk about your goals and challenges with others that not only keeps you accountable, but also provides you with new perspectives and encouragement. Nothing beats it. And as I wrap up today, I would love you to reflect on a recent challenge, the one that I was talking about. How can you reframe it into a growth opportunity? What impact could this shift in perspective have you on your journey towards achieving your long-term goals? I hope you've got some practical tips out of today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.